Hey, I'm here with Esteban Carreras and Craig from Esteban Carreras, and we're here to talk about sort of the history of the brand and maybe tell us about some of the cigars that you've got, your line, and maybe about the new cigar that you guys launched.
All right, fantastic. So we've been making cigars since 2005, so this is our 19th year. We come out with one cigar a year, so we plan on that cigar for 2 years in advance, so by the time it's ready, we've procured the tobacco, don't have to worry about shortages, things like that, plenty of time to make sure it's perfect. We have iconic stuff like Chupacabra that we came out with 14, 15 years ago, but we have other brands like Unforsaken, which we've had out 5 or 6 years, Taken from the Devil's Hand, which was a couple years ago, Hellcat, Mr. Brownstone, Cashmere, which is our nice light Connecticut cigar. We've got a full line of cigars. We've been working on this for almost 20 years now.
Awesome. Yeah, I've heard of so many of those, and fortunately I've not had the experience of smoking it, but I'm going to try one today. So
okay, look forward to it.
Tell us a little bit about maybe the couple of the lines, the Vitolas and the lines that you want to talk about.
Well, Gonzalo Puentes runs my factory. He was in charge of all the tobacco in Cuba up until 1994. He was the minister of tobacco. They had the minister of agriculture, and you had the guys in charge of goats, the guy in charge of cows. He was in charge of all the tobacco.
That's great.
He's got 2 doctorates from the University of Havana, the only one in the business. He's worked for other giant companies. He planted most of Esteli and that whole Nicaragua Valley for Eduardo Fernandez. Worked for some other big companies. So we get the tobacco from Nica Prosa, which is, you can say it's as nice as Nica Prosa, but nobody says it's better than Nica Prosa. Sure. We do re-ferment all of our tobacco, so we get another year of a fermentation process to make sure it's perfect. But he's been doing it for 50 years now, literally 50 years. He's 72 years old. Knows what he's doing. And he consults to other companies still to this day. Everybody's related in this business from Pinar del Rio. They're all cousins or something, so he talks to people all the time. But we have the right guy making sure our stuff's right.
I love it. Can you tell me specifically about this cigar here in Devil's Hand and its flavor profile, what you can expect when you smoke it?
So there's a special story that goes with Devil's Hand.
Oh, okay.
So back in 1993, Cuba had a problem with Corojo plants. So in order to prove it, what they do is they do positive selection. So they grow 100 plants, they take the best 5, they rebreed those together. They do that again. They do it 3 times. What happened was they came up with a phenomenal seed. So Gonzalo and a couple of the other guys in the business took that seed, sewed it into this lining of their cuffs or rolled it into a cigar and smuggled it out to Ecuador and Nicaragua, which is most of the Corojo used now. He took the worst seeds and handed them back to Castro. And you can see pictures of Corojo plants in 95, 96 that Cuba's bragging about, but they look terrible.
Wow.
So
that is a cool story.
So they took good Corojo, made it a lot better, gave Cuba back the stuff that's just garbage. Wow. And they still brag about it like it's something. But, so that's a pretty special cigar and a pretty special story about what they did. And of course, if you got caught doing that, you're not around for it.
Yeah.
So this came out, I would say, 2021.
Okay.
We did come out with a Devil's Hand Maduro in 2022.
Okay.
Or 23. I got those years just off 1 year. But Corojo is very hard to get into Maduro. So when you're raising temperatures up in order to ferment the product, it's usually 135, 140. But people have tried to make Corojo into Maduro for years and had problems burning it, lost a lot of money. So it takes 2 years to get that into Maduro. So you can only bring it up to about 105 because it's a thinner tobacco. So it's a long process. But again, we're planning whatever our release is. We're planning right now for 2026. So if we got some type of process that we want to do, we got plenty of time to get it done.
Yeah. What about the Connecticut? A lot of our folks, Klaro Cigars, love Connecticut, love lighter cigars. You were really excited. This is why I stopped here, because you were all excited about the Connecticut.
Again, when you got 2 years to do stuff,
it's cool. Yeah.
You look at it. So last year, and the year before, at the PCA, there was 6 cigars that retailed for $100 because Septimo had expensive cigars from the sell.
Septimo. Yeah.
So this is the most expensive cigar in the world to make. This is A1 wrapper from Connecticut Valley. It's $48 a pound. Most wrappers, 27, 26, 19. So we buy the premium wrapper. Aged that for a year. So it costs a little bit more to make it, but nobody else uses that wrapper at that expense because the larger companies are trying to make stuff a little bit cheaper. They've got a lot of bean counters in there involved. We just
Would
want
you
to make
say that's the most premium wrapper that you can get on the market?
in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
I love it.
People go in and go $48 in Spanish and Cuban, and then we go, Well, you know what? We haven't made a Connecticut for 14 years because we don't smoke a lot of Connecticut's. We do now.
Yeah.
We smoke this. But we want a little more flavor and stuff, and we're playing with stuff. But we hadn't come out with 14 years. And then when we bought that wrapper and did it, it's just so smooth and so nice. And it's our number 2 seller and has been since it came out.
Yeah.
The new cigar will come out that year. It'll kind of surpass for a little bit. And then we just sell Connecticut, this nice cashmere Connecticut over and over.
So what's some of the flavor profile that $48 a pound wrapper gets you?
What that gets you just gets you smoothness.
Lot
Connecticut
of
Shade wrapper
smoothness.
has a bitterness in it.
Yeah.
That they're trying to get out. It just takes time to get it out. But people like that color. It's just expensive. And so you've got a cigar there that's not bland, because some, Connecticut cigars, they just done everything they can to get the flavor out.
It's just like a complex Connecticut.
But complex is kind of a strong word for that, I'd say. But no, it has some flavor.
But not boring. Yeah.
No,
not
not
a boring Connecticut.
It's a step up from your stuff that just has no flavor.
Yeah.
Great morning cigar.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Craig.
Hey,
great
appreciate it,
story,
Michael.
great
Thanks for stopping
brand.
by. All right. Thank you.